Hello, this is Dennis Witt for Classic Folk Guitar. I want to go over this guitar tab for House of Rising Sun and try to explain a few things in it. Um, I'm using a program right now called Guitar Pro 6, and so let's go over the chords. First chord is an A minor. It's got the fingering on there. You expand into full screen mode, you should be able to see the fingering okay. And then the next chord is C, followed by a D, then an F, and an E. And those are the basic chords in House of Rising Sun. One thing I have included in this, if we go down a little bit to where it says verse, there's a little pickup note right here for the first word in the song, which is there. And then is, a, house, in, as you are, if you're familiar with a song, that's the beginning of the first verse. Kind of shows you how the lyrics fit in to the guitar pattern on specific notes of the finger pattern. So anyway, I'm going to turn my program on and I'll just let you watch this guitar tab, and I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes. Whoops, I'm not too crazy about that because it didn't, it started with the verse. So let me go all the way back. Here's the beginning of the song. This is the intro. And you heard some clicks there, or that was just basically a metronome. Let me see what my settings are here. I've got the metronome set to be on throughout the song, actually. And then I've got the countdown for leading into the song to help with the get the timing as you start the song. I've got this tempo marked at a quarter note equals 120 beats per minute, and that seems pretty fast, but that's about how fast the song actually goes. When you practice this, of course, you can slow it down some, or just slow down some yourself during practice. So let's try this again, and we're going to hear the metronome or the countdown. Okay, I only had one major countdown, so it comes in pretty quick. Let's start all over again. Before I even do that, let me explain the tab here. Chords are up here, and each chord, this lasts for about a measure generally. Maybe a few places where the chord lasts for more than a measure. But anyway, the first note here in the guitar tab, and we're not going to even worry about the standard music notation. In the tab, the top line is the first string and the bottom line is the sixth string. So that would make this the fifth string. And on your guitar, the top line is the first string, which is the littlest string, and the bottom line or sixth string, that would be your biggest string. So next to the sixth string, you have the fifth string, and that 0 means that it's open. Then here you have the third string, and the 2 means it's on the second fret. And then the second string is the first string, second string, first fret, and then the first string open. All of these notes are contained within the A minor chord. And then as you go to the next chord, you'll see that all of these notes are contained within the C chord, and the same with the D and the F. So if you're playing the correct chords, all you have to do is make sure that you're hitting the right strings. The right strings would be, for the first two chords, if we just say the strings by themselves, that would be the fifth, third, second, first, back to the second and the third. So that would be 5. Now what I'm saying is the strings. I'm not saying the frets. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you hit the fifth string with your thumb, the third string with your index finger, the second string with your middle finger, and the first string with your ring finger. Okay, then you come back using your middle finger and your index finger. So basically the way that you set up to play this is almost like classical guitar, where in general the thumb plays the fourth, fifth, and sixth strings, and your index finger plays the third string, middle finger plays the second string, and the ring finger plays the first string. So let's do it. Let's do it again. Make sure I'm starting from the beginning. Just kind of watch my mouse here. C part, D, F, A minor, E, A minor, E. There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. Okay, now, that was the first verse. And what it did is it went back to this. There's about 5 verses in the song, so I think that with this repeat sign, let me go down here to the closing part of the repeat. Yeah, you'll see this 5 times. So the part in between where it says intro, or not intro, but first verse, and this little 2-dotted double bar line is a repeat sign, so that means you're going to go back from this point up a few measures to where you see those same bar lines and dots, and so this whole section here gets repeated 5 times because there's 5 verses. And I didn't put the lyrics for all 5 verses, but you'll get the general idea with the, if you learn the first verse, you know, doing the other verses is not a big problem. So anyway, let's take it from the beginning of the verse, and we'll go through that. Actually, let me slow this down a little bit right now. Let's make it a little bit easier. I'm going to change the tempo. I'm going to make it about 60 this time. Okay, this might make it a little easier to play. And then we'll go over the ending after we go through all the verses. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting in 6/8 time, which means that each one of these notes gets a beat. And 6/8 time, there's going to be 6 beats per measure. 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of many a poor boy and God, I know I'm one. Going back to the beginning of the second verse. Okay, so I'll just let you watch for a minute. coming to the end of the second verse here. I think I'm going to pause it as you get the general idea. Okay, so you would do all of that 5 times. This is called the Altro. And anyway, it's the A minor with the same finger pattern. Boom, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, like so. Then the C, then the D, then the F, and the A minor, the E, the A minor, and then we end with an A minor chord. Okay, if you're not familiar with chords in guitar tab, they look like this. The notes are stacked one upon the other. This is standard notation here, which, if you understand that a little bit, helps with the timing somewhat. These are that's a half note with a dot. Anyway, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's anyway. That's an A minor there. Let's play that outro part. Little count in. Okay, so that's my simplified rendition of House of the Rising Sun. On the original, or at least the one that was made popular by the Animals, the finger pattern a little bit more complicated, and it really wasn't even done with a classical guitar style fingering or right hand fingering. It was pretty much done with a straight pick, but it can be done either way, whether it be with a straight pick or with the right hand fingers. Like I said, this is a somewhat simplified version, but covers 2 things. One, you're kind of learning a simple version of House of the Rising Sun, and you're learning a little bit about guitar tab as well, and how to read it, and what some of the symbols mean. So hope this helps you out, and this is Dennis Witt for Classic Folk Guitar, and we'll see you next time.